running up the score.
It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole! It's in the hole!
Forget about the curveball, Ricky. Give him a heater.
Jerry.
Well, you know, we just don't have enough time for that.
You're very funny, Jerry. That's what I always tell people. Jerry's a funny guy.
Funny guy! Right here!
Tom.
Give me a break. Good joke.
Pick up that piece of trash, Tom. Tuck in your shirt. What are you doing? Have a sense of pride, huh? In fact, why don't you take a lap? Go run a lap! I'm timing you!
Kevin.
You know, Ben is unique. You know, these guys are unique. They're championship runs. I mean, this one's unique.
You beat Kevin down Cherry Hill?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you. I make you laugh.
I don't think you should be butting in when I'm talking to my team. You're my assistant, okay? You're supposed to back me up and go get me juice boxes when I tell you. Now go get me a juice box.
This is Running Up the Score.
It is time to run up the score. It's the Running Up the Score podcast with Jerry Napoleonello. The reason why we're doing this is we couldn't get into the studio today. We're probably not going to be able to get into the studio the rest of this week. So we decided to do two 30-minute podcasts. You'll have Tom's later. I'll post that later. I don't know if he'll be videotaping. If he does, I'll put it on YouTube. But I'm videotaping it now so I can put mine on YouTube. We're basically going to bring up all the same stuff. I don't know what, he might do with the same, because what I did, I wrote up the rundown. I sent it to him, so depending on how he wants to do it, he could do it any way he can, any way he wants to. If he wants to hold out things, he can hold out things. But basically, you're going to get both of our sides of everything going on right now. And the reason why we're doing this podcast, I mean, we could have just took off the week, but there was just so much to get into, this week. I was actually excited to get into the studio this week, but I got to work. So we're doing the 30-minute podcast. So, before, when I get into this, there's a lot that I have listed here. Great things to get into. But first, I want to thank you, our sponsor, Yellfy Sports app. You can download Yellfy at the iTunes App Store. It's spelled Yellfy. Go check it out. There's a lot of things that you can do on it, and it's going to be exciting, especially when the football season starts with the Yellfy. But also, we have our launching of the official show store. It's on our website now, and we have a, I guess, we got a thing that's going on right now from June 2nd to June 4th. It's free shipping. The code is FS617. Type that in as your code. You'll get free shipping for our gear. From June 2nd to June 4th. So definitely check that out. All our logos are on there. It's awesome, and definitely go wear some Running Up the Score gear. But we're going to get into it now. What do I have to start with? That's, of course, Bryce Harper, Hunter Strickland, the brawl. I love it. And I know a lot of people don't like it. I know a lot of people are saying that the baseball is a weapon. I don't like the reasoning for it. He didn't do much. So to me, I think the reasoning behind it was stupid on Hunter Strickland's part. But altogether, I think that the whole thing is great for baseball. I think the whole thing is great for baseball. That's what you want. And I mean, just if you were listening to sports radio the last day or two, today, yesterday, what was the lead on the shows? Baseball. Baseball was the lead. We have the Stanley Cup Finals going on right now. Game 2 is tonight. We have the NBA Finals. Game 1 is tomorrow night. And we're starting with baseball. I love it. I thought it was great for baseball. I do not agree with Hunter Strickland. I agree with Harper rushing the mound. I think that he should be able to do that. How is he supposed to back himself up? Because, Hunter Strickland has the baseball. He hits him with the baseball. That's his way of doing whatever he wants to do. So now Harper has to have his chance to do whatever he wants to do. He ran out there. The suspensions were handed down yesterday. Bryce Harper will get a four-game suspension. Hunter Strickland will get a 6-game suspension. This is where I don't agree with it. Because Hunter Strickland started this. This thing happened 3 years ago in the playoffs. Hunter Strickland's a pitcher. And the thing is, when we're talking about suspensions with pitchers, if you're a starting pitcher, you're only pitching every 5 days. So you get a 6-game suspension, you're only missing 6 games. You're only missing 1 start. On Hunter Strickland's side, he's a relief pitcher. So say 6-game suspension, he'll miss maybe 2 spots, maybe 3. Bryce Harper is getting 4 games. He's an everyday player, so he's missing those 4 games. Obviously, they're appealing it right now, but he's going to get those 4 games. So right now, you're telling me that Bryce Harper was more in the wrong than Hunter Strickland was. That's where I don't agree with it. Harper, went over the top with throwing the helmet. Thank God, it slipped out of his hands, because that probably could have been a little uglier. But, I don't think anything has to be changed. Everybody's sitting back. Oh, maybe we should change it so that the pitcher and the hitter can go at it, but by themselves. It shouldn't be a bench clearing brawl. It shouldn't be this. It shouldn't be that. Or a pitcher shouldn't be able to throw at a batter, or this and that. Like, come on. It's been like that for how long? Now we're gonna bring this to be a problem? Come on. I don't understand why when something happens we have to turn around and say it needs to be changed. Doesn't need to be changed. Let it be. It's been like this since baseball has erected. Since baseball has been around. So stop. Leave it the way it is. Leave it the way it is. That's the way that baseball polices itself. That's it. As bad as this might sound, people love confrontation. People love fights. NASCAR was talked about because there was a fight on the racetrack. Football, you have a fight on the field, it's talked about. Baseball, it's talked about. And then when you talk about actual fighting sports like boxing or UFC, they also need something to make their sport even better or more interesting. So you have baseball, you have football, you have hockey, you have, NASCAR, basketball. When fights happen, it's talked about. It makes it more interesting. When you talk about a fighting sport, what does it do to make it more interesting? Because you already have the fighting, so it's like, all right, well, this is the part that everybody wants in every other sport. So what do? You talk trash. That's what the UFC does. That's what boxing does. That's what happens to make their fights, to make their sport more interesting. Every sport needs something to make it more interesting other than what's going on the field. So I agree with it. I love it. We want more of it. Like Bryce Harper said in the beginning of the season, or last season, Make baseball great again. He's doing that. I mean, this wasn't his fault. He just hit 2 home runs in the playoffs in 2014 off of Hunter Strickland. Now, if Hunter Strickland thinks that Bryce Harper tried to pimp that last home run, he didn't. He was looking to see if it was actually going to go fair or foul. So, I loved this whole thing. I thought it was great. I remember because I was driving home from the train station from work, and I heard it happen on the radio. So when I came into the house, I was like, put ESPN on. This thing's going down. So I thought it was awesome. Hunter Strickland got basically an open hand slap or push on Bryce Harper's face, but Bryce Harper connected with a nice, I think it was a right. And that it was good. It was good for baseball. It was interesting. I love it. Now to other things that have happened. Headline news: Tiger Woods. He gets a DUI. He fell asleep in the car. And I'm gonna bring up the police report. They did a breathalyzer. He got a 0, so that's good. We're happy to see that. No alcohol was involved. So that's great. We're excited. Well, not excited, but we're happy to see that. But he did say that he mixed pain medicine because he did just have back surgery, and this is just kind of, I don't think this is going to be bad for Tiger Woods, but at first it did look bad to be arrested for a DUI. But when we're looking at it now, he was asleep on the side of the road in his car with the car running. He was lethargic. He didn't know where he was. So we're happy that he wasn't drunk driving. We're happy that he wasn't, driving, period. But what does this do to Tiger Woods? What are we gonna see from Tiger Woods? Is he ever gonna play again? Is he ever gonna win a major again? What are we gonna see from Tiger Woods? Is he gonna get his act together? I have an article here that basically they I think it was SI basically did a timeline of, actually this is fortune.com. They did a timeline of his troubles, and actually is Sports Illustrated article. November 2009 was the whole Thanksgiving, him and his wife thing. It just kept on firing up from there, and that was the start of everything. That was the start of his so-called downhill. He, basically has, since then, it was, he came back about a couple of months after this whole thing with his wife. He apologized. Then, there was women that came out that said that they were with him and this and that. And then you had, him actually on the course, and he just, Achilles tendon injury, an MLC sprain, you have the back injury, a pinched nerve, surgery, gets his second surgery. You have him lose one tournament that he had the lead in the last day, and that's when you see him at his best, when he has that lead on that Sunday. And it just, ever since that Thanksgiving Day, it's just been downhill for him. And it's sad to see, because I'm not the biggest golf fan. I've watched it. But when Tiger Woods was on the course, you always watched it. Like, it didn't matter who you were. It was interesting. I mean, that's what it was. It was interesting to watch Tiger Woods do his thing. It was interesting to watch Tiger Woods wearing that red and black on a Sunday and just making every other golfer bite their nails the whole rest of the round. The guy was an assassin. And it's funny because we talk about an assassin, when it comes to basketball. We talk about it when it comes to football, like stuff like that. You had Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Kyrie Irving now. Like, those are the guys that you would say, oh yeah, these are assassins. Tiger Woods was an assassin. That guy, he didn't even have to swing the club. Once he just stepped onto the course, people were shaking in their boots. That's what it was. So it's sad to see, what he could have been, I guess you could say. I mean, you could still say that he was the greatest golfer. I don't think anybody would ever dispute that. Maybe he's in the conversation, and I think if he would have stayed healthy, I think if he would have stayed out of trouble and kept going on the route that he was, I mean, it could have been crazy. I mean, Jack Nicklaus, his record was definitely at stake, and it just went downhill for Tiger Woods, and it's sad to see. But we'll get into another injury with another big-time player in baseball. Mike Trout tore a ligament in his thumb. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. He had surgery on it, I believe. And, it sucks because it's, him and Bryce Harper are like the face of baseball now. Those are the guys that you want to watch, you want to see. And it sucks to see, Mike Trout hurt, especially with the season that he was having. He's having the best season of his, short but great career. So that sucks to see. But we had a game 1 on Monday night. Predators, Penguins, Stanley Cup Finals. And it was an interesting game. Let's just say the Penguins had 0, big goose egg, 0 shots on goal in the second period. They went almost 26 minutes without a shot on goal. And they still won. They had a 3-0 lead in the first period. I mean, it ended up being a 3-1 lead, but 3-0 lead in the first period. And they only had 7 shots in the first period. Pekka Rinne was the worst game that I've seen him play. Basically this whole playoffs. It was horrendous. Some of the goals that he let in, I can actually say all the goals that he let in were very weak goals. Very weak goals. Nashville ended up coming back, tied the game up, and then Getzel ended up scoring the goal for Pittsburgh late in the third period. I think there was 3 minutes left in the third period. Ended that game. I think it started for the Predators. The Predators outplayed the Pittsburgh Penguins the whole entire game. I think the tune of the game started to change right after the Predators so-called scored that first goal. They went back, looked at it, and said that they were offsides, which I don't know if it was I don't think it was very conclusive, to be honest with you. But they said no goal, and then that's when the Penguins ended up scoring the 3 goals. So it definitely changed the tune of the game. I'm excited to see what happens tonight. Game 2 is tonight. Still in Pittsburgh, 8 o'clock tonight. I think the Predators are going to play even better than they did. I obviously think that the Penguins are going to play better than what they did. So it's going to be interesting. The Predators need to win one in Pittsburgh. I believe they need to win one in Pittsburgh. But I think this series might go 7. But what happened basically off the ice but ended up on the ice, this is where something... basically, let me give you the background of it. So, obviously everybody knows the Red Wings, their big thing is throwing the octopus on the ice. All right, now, if you don't know the reason for throwing the octopus on the ice, all right, the Red Wings, 1952 Stanley Cup playoffs, a Detroit fan threw an octopus over the glass, and back then there were only 6 teams in the league and only 4 made the postseason. An octopus has 8 legs, obviously. Octopus, oct, is 8, obviously. Those 8 legs represented how many games the Red Wings needed to win to hoist the 1952 Cup. They won the Cup that year, so it's been tradition ever since. It's 2017. This happened in 1952. That is the definition of tradition. I just rhymed there. So, obviously, everybody kind of tries to look for some kind of tradition or start some kind of tradition. That's what everybody wants to do. You want a tradition. Everybody loves tradition. The Yankees, the pinstripes, the just everything about the Yankees is tradition. You have the Dallas Cowboys, the star on their helmet, tradition. The Boston Celtics, Larry Bird, they just everything. The Lakers, Magic Johnson, everything is tradition. The Yankees have no name on their back. That's tradition. They don't wear hair. They don't have long hair. That's tradition. There's no facial hair. That's tradition. That's everything that you see with the Yankees. Red Wings, they throw octopus on the ice. The Florida Panthers throw fake mice on the ice. So in 2002, actually it wasn't 2002. They ended up, the Predators came into the league, I think they came into the league. All right, where is it? So about 1997, 1998, they came into the league. I think it was 1998. And they were looking for tradition. So the Predators were playing... and now breaking news. Bryce Harper's suspension reduced to 3 games now. On October 26, 2002, the Predators were playing the Red Wings at home, and a player and a fan just wanted to mimic what the Red Wings do, and he threw a catfish on the ice. It's a familiar fish to everyone in the South, and it gave the Predators fans their own unique tradition. And PETA, the organization for animals and everything like that, they didn't like that the Red Wings throw the octopus on the ice, and they sent a letter, and they want fans to be thrown out of the game, and they want a lifetime ban for the fans that throw an octopus on the ice. This is the letter that the PETA, I guess, sent to the Detroit Red Wings. I'm writing on behalf of people of the ethical treatment of animals, PETA, and our more than 6.5 million members and supporters worldwide, including thousands across Pennsylvania. Many sports fans among them, in response to reports that... Oh, this is actually for the Catfish. I want to find the one for the... I had an email, the letter from PETA to the Red Wings. Here it is. All right, so they want to eject and a lifetime ban for the fan that throws it onto the ice. I'm writing on behalf of PETA and our more than 5 million members and supporters, including thousands across Michigan. So this is kind of starting to sound the same, isn't it? With many sports fans among them in advance of the final 2 games of the season at Joe Louis Arena, and reports that fans will bring octopuses to throw on the ice. We strongly urge you to prohibit them from flinging these intelligent animals, dead or alive, onto the ice this weekend. To check attendees for concealed octopus at the door, please levy a $5,000 fine against those who bring an octopus into the arena or are caught throwing on the ice. In addition, immediately eject them from the game and permanently ban them from all future Red Wings games. Octopuses are extraordinarily intelligent and self-aware and have 10,000 more genes than humans do. Like other sea animals, including fish, they use tools, communicate with one another, and form social bonds. They've even been observed using coconut shells as shelter and wielding the poisonous tentacles of Portuguese men of war like swords. They can navigate mazes, solve puzzles, and open child-proof jars. And everyone remembers Inky, the octopus who climbed out of the aquarium tank, traversed the floor, and slid down a 164-foot pipe to freedom. They are sentient beings capable of feeling pain. It's no more acceptable to kill them for a decades-old tradition than it is to harm any other living beings. Please, won't you prohibit fans from engaging in such insensitive acts? We hope you will issue a statement to all the fans that throw octopus on the ice will not be tolerated. Perhaps you can encourage them to purchase and throw stuffed octopus to celebrate their team's success without making light of cruelty to animals. Thank you for your considerations. Very truly yours, Ingrid E. Newkirk, president of PETA. So, as you heard in that letter, decades-old tradition. Just stop. Just stop. Let it be. Let the fans do what the hell they want to do. They want to throw an octopus on the ice, they can throw an octopus on the ice. It shouldn't matter. So I just think I think this whole thing is ridiculous. Now, there was a guy in the game 1 that threw a catfish. As I said, the catfish was a thing for the Predators now. Threw a catfish on the ice in Pittsburgh. He went through a hell of a lot of stuff to get this thing in to the arena. He bought the catfish in Tennessee. He sprayed the catfish with allspice. He put it in a cooler. He then filleted the fish, took out half the spine, ran over it a couple of times so he can vacuum seal it. That didn't work because the head of the catfish was too big. He then put basically boxers on and then put the fish and put compression shorts over the fish. I mean, this guy went through so much stuff. He ended up going down during one of the stoppages, ended up getting down the aisle, got up to the ice, threw it onto the ice. They took him out. They're charging him with 3 counts. You have, I believe, let me see. He's getting charged with, I think it was like, he's getting charged with disorderly conduct, disrupting a meeting, and possessing instruments of a crime. So now we've learned that a catfish is an instrument of a crime. We also found out that a hockey game is a meeting. So that's interesting. Disorderly conduct, I can see, whatever. I think he's going to get away with some of this stuff. Radio station is already paying for any fines that he, gets. And then they have a bunch of Nashville-based lawyers that are going to help him as well. So that was interesting. I thought that whole thing was interesting. I think it's funny to see what PETA does and, everything like that. Game 2 is tonight. Check that out. Then we have Game 1 of the NBA Finals on actually tomorrow. I'm going to give quick rundown of some of the things I have here. Who will win? I think the Warriors. How many games? I think 7. Who wins MVP? MVP, I would have to. I'm gonna go with. I think Steph Curry's playing better than he has in the previous 2 finals. So we'll see what happens with that. The game breaker and the guy that everybody needs to watch for is Draymond Green. Does he stay on the court? If he does, I think he is the catalyst to the Warriors basically winning the series. We all saw what happened when he got suspended last year. It changed the series. He's in that game, they win that game. He's in any of the games after that, or the game that he missed, they win that game. They win that series. That's it. This is also funny. What was going on in the world the last time that LeBron James was not in the playoffs and was not in the finals? And when he was not in the finals, it was 2010. It was the Celtics and the Lakers that began on June 3rd of that year. So here's some things that happened almost 7 years ago. Barack Obama was president and Democrats controlled both houses of Congress. Donald Trump was about to start his final season of The Apprentice. Less than 24 hours prior to the start of the finals, Armando Galarraga of the Detroit Tigers had lost his perfect game on an incorrect call on the last play of the 9th inning. That I thought was pretty interesting. That was pretty funny. That was ridiculous, but now it wouldn't happen because of the replay. The Chicago Blackhawks were less than a week from winning the first of their trio of Stanley Cups. The Deepwater Horizon drilling platform exploded in the Gulf of Mexico not 2 months earlier. Spain was about to win its first World Cup. Italy was the defending champion. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber had recently met for the first time. Gomez called Bieber her little brother. Brett Favre was still playing football and had started every game he played in over the past 19 seasons. Ken Griffey Jr. had just retired from baseball on June 2nd. He did end up in the Hall of Fame last year. John Wall wasn't in the NBA yet. Reggie Bush had not yet forfeited his Heisman Trophy. Derrick Rose was healthy. Oh My God, OMG by Usher and will.i.am was #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100. George Steinbrenner was still alive. UConn women had just completed their second consecutive 39-0 season. Shrek Forever After was the #1 movie in America. And whoever's writing this article had not applied to college yet. And LeBron hadn't left the Cavaliers yet. So this was before the decision. So that I thought that was pretty funny of everything that went on the last time that LeBron wasn't in the finals. But we have before we get out of here, I have a few prop bets here. So let's see what the spread. All right. So the odds for this for game 1, Golden State 1-3. So then we have props and picks. According to OddsShark, the odds for Finals MVP are as follows: Steph Curry 21-10, Kevin Durant 21-10, LeBron James 13-5, Draymond Green 11-2, Kyrie Irving 16-1, Klay Thompson 20-1, Kevin Love 33-1. I would take the Kyrie Irving 16-1, 100%. I think that's a great move. I think he's been playing unbelievable lately. We have prop bets like race to 20. It's a race to 20 points. While the odds vary, they're roughly 8 to 15 in favor of Golden State. We have to agree with the perception that the Warriors will be the first team to reach 20 points in Game 1. Then you have the Warriors' total points. Another interesting prop highlighted at OddsChecker involves the Warriors and their points total for Game 1. There's an over-under set at 113.5 points with 3-2 odds on the under, which is what we're going to take. So these are, I thought they were going to have some more prop bets, but that was about it. But it works out anyway because we're about to get out of here. Again, go to our official show store. The code FS617 for free shipping from June 2nd to June 4th. We will constantly post different codes for all different things for our gear. Go out and get some Running Up the Score swag. Check out Tom's Running Up the Score podcast. His will be up. I don't know if he'll be up on YouTube. You'll just have to check. But it'll definitely be up on iTunes, so check that out. Check out all our podcasts for this week. None of them are out yet. But you'll have Going Yard with Tom Gallipanti probably Friday. You'll have and go check out his last podcast too, because there was a problem with the website, so I didn't get it in until I think Monday night. So check that out. Mine will be up within. Both of them will probably be up tomorrow. Armchair Quarterback and Ball is Life. Both of them will be up tomorrow. If you want some gear that has our podcast on them, the but our show store, and that will do it. Thank you to our sponsor again, Yellfy Sports app. Go download Yellfy, YELLFY, at the iTunes App Store. Download it. Follow us at Jerry RUTS Sports, at Tom RUTS Sports. Tom is actually on Twitter now. Finally, go give him a follow, because he's very tentative when it comes to social media. So go get him a follow at Tom RUTS Sports. But that will do it. I hope you enjoyed my 30-minute Running Up the Score podcast. That will do it for today. We'll be back next Wednesday. I'm Jerry B. Breezy.
And it is all over!
You've been listening to Running Up the Score on Zeno Radio.